Okay, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Archon TV What Show V3 episode 10. This episode, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch and kind of the aftermath of E3 for Nintendo and how they're doing. But before that, let's go ahead and get the intros out of the way. As always, I'm Archon Toonami with my co-host.
Surf Nuts.
And we're here, as always, to talk about gaming news. This week, like I said, was a little slow, but let's break it down. Let's talk Nintendo Switch. People are reporting that their Switches are cracking near the top, which is pretty interesting because I don't think the top. I'm trying to remember how the top goes in the dock, but like a lot of videos have shown that like the top left corner or the top right corners are like chipping out. Some people are saying that other things like in the middle are breaking off, like vents and stuff. What do you think about this for Nintendo?
Well, I guess it makes it taking it apart a lot easier for your hot fixes.
That's one way of looking at it. I mean,
Oh, no,
they
that's
sold
pretty
what? 1.87 million of them already? So does that mean that the 1.87 million stock that's out there has the defect, potentially?
That's probably why the stock's dropping.
Well, we can talk about that like after, but just to focus on this. I mean, has there been another console? Like, I'm trying to think like that's actually like physically fallen apart.
I mean, didn't the old PS3 has had that little flap where you could put like SD cards and stuff. That part always came off, but it wasn't really major.
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't actually affect the system. You weren't looking at the circuit board when it fell off.
No.
Like the Switch, if that piece comes off that's chipped, it's almost like the old. I'm trying to think of how it looks. It almost looks like the old L and R buttons on like a Game Boy Advance or something with how it looks chipped. You know, it's really bad how it looks. It's interesting that got through playtesting. It's like Nintendo's had nothing but issues for the most part these past couple months. When you really think about it, they had the hack that lets people, use whatever they want for like cheat codes and that play whatever pirated games they want. Now they're having this problem. They were having like dock issues before where they were melting the Switch. You gotta wonder if it's not maybe a part of like the Switch and the dock like melting the Switch down or something, so it's causing pressure cracks or something.
Yeah, I don't. That's kind of messed up. Like, what kind of? What are they using? Is it even regular plastic or?
I don't even know. It seems like it's firm plastic, but for whatever reason, it's just breaking away. It's something it's got to be something with the L and the R button on top or something. I don't even know. Like actually, now that I think about it, I don't even think it has any controls. It's where the Joy-Cons dock though, where you slide them on. So I'm guessing it has something to do maybe with the Joy-Cons and the pressure on the latch, and it causes the latch to like push through or something, which causes it to chip outwards. It's the only thing I could think of.
Well, if you're a warranty company, I'm sure you're loving Nintendo right now.
Oh yeah. They said it wasn't a high amount of users that were experiencing the issue, but I'm sure that will only go up with the changes, or not with the changes, but with time. Sorry, that's with settings. Anyway, so I guess that leads us on to the second portion. It's showing that stock investors are kind of scared of Nintendo right now. They've already dropped like 17% since March. And the crazy thing about this is that they had such a decent showing at E3 compared to Sony, and the other companies. I mean, Microsoft, we talked about E3. Microsoft didn't have anything major. They had like one or two exclusives that were basically just sequels to Halo and Gears, and that was really about it. Sony didn't really have much outside of its big three exclusives. Nintendo is the one that really kind of stole the show, I think, in general. Like, I think they did well. They had Smash, they had New Fire Emblem, they had Pokemon, Fortnite was announced. You know, all these big games. They had all these games announced, and investors are now scared to invest in Nintendo.
I think this has to be solely because of the way the system's been falling apart.
That's the only thing I could think of. Investors, I guess, weren't impressed with the E3 lineup either, is what reports are saying, which makes no sense to me. Because Smash is guaranteed to get people interested in the Switch. That's all I'm gonna say. That appeals to the fighting game audience. You have Zelda already out. You have Mario Odyssey, which was one of the biggest name games. Those two are already out. You're gonna have a Metroid game on the horizon that's gonna be talked about here in the next couple months, probably. A new Yoshi game that's on the horizon. Like, I don't understand what investors are so scared of right now. Like, they said it was a lack of games too, and that kind of baffles me.
Yeah, I don't know about lack of games. I think they're just full of it. They probably just sold to sell.
I guess
there is that possibility too. Like a bunch of people just need money at once.
I mean, the stocks are nowhere near as bad as when the Wii U was out and when Nintendo was basically at their lowest point from the Wii U. But I mean, it's steadily heading down. The hype train is pretty much stopped for Nintendo, which is crazy because they're expecting to sell another 2 million Switches within, I think, either next year or going into next year. They're expecting another 2 million or so to be sold. And I could easily see that happening. Like I said, the games that are coming out.
I want to get a Switch. I hope mine doesn't break, but I kind of want to get one.
Yeah, they're like glass cannons. Like, you're supposed to take them everywhere, but you can't take them anywhere because they're gonna break. It's like, what?
Like, take this wherever you would take Pokemon Go. All right. I fell off a bridge, man, and it survived that. But then I picked it up and it fell apart.
Yeah. Take it wherever you want to play, except for Dome, because it's gonna break. Like, what? But yeah.
I mean, sorry. At this point, you might as well get. I mean, you have to get the case with it. It's like you're getting a new phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Honestly, like if you're an investor, what?
It's not too bad. I mean, like I just start making Nintendo Switch cases. If I could get my 3D printer working.
Well, man, at that point, yeah, maybe Nintendo could look into something like that. That would help protect the casing and that. Unless it's an interior issue, like I said, with the Joy-Cons docking in the corners, maybe it's something to do with that. Yeah, people aren't docking correctly. Huh?
Yeah, that's not much you could do if it's something inside.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an investor, I think now you might look towards Nintendo a little bit. They've dropped 17%, so if they keep dropping and these big name games come out, the stock might rise again when the Switch purchases come back up. So, I mean, it's very easy to maybe make some money there. Hard to say, really. Stocks are always finicky. I just can't believe anybody would think that Nintendo has nothing on the horizon. I know the current president's getting ready to step down, but he was only a transition president anyway, because after Iwata died, they were just looking for somebody to take over real quick. And he's been around, I think, only since the Switch came out, maybe a little bit before then. They're getting ready to announce their actual president for the future going forward. So, I mean, maybe that's some of it, too.
Did she fully heal when I polymorphed her? Sorry.
But yeah. So I guess this just goes to show that even if you have a great E3 showing, which Nintendo did have a decent E3 showing, you are still potentially going to struggle in the aftermath with investors. It doesn't necessarily translate to good business, upside. Which is crazy to me how that works. I mean, you showcased 2 Pokemon games, like I said, in Smash. Those right there alone are guaranteed to sell a bunch of consoles for anybody who didn't already have one. The entire Smash community might go out and buy one now just because of that. And there is a big community for Smash.
Right, that's pretty much why I'm doing it. I mean, yeah, I want to kind of play the new Pokemon too.
I wouldn't mind getting Odyssey. Maybe getting the new Metroid game when it comes out. Yeah. Mario Kart. Mario Party.
actual Mario Party. You could take the party
Yeah.
with you.
I hope there's online support for it, but the problem with the online support is that Nintendo's never really been good at online either. I wish that they would, put more effort into that. If they did, I think they'd be a lot better off. Because it's not really a console that's going to have a lot of longevity to it. Whereas like PS3, you can still go back and play some games online on the servers and whatnot, and they play just fine for the most part. Nintendo's always had that issue though with online. And I hear they're trying to charge for their online now. There's some type of Switch service coming out for online. I don't know what it is specifically. I can't think of what it's called. It's not Nintendo Online, is it? Maybe that's what it is or something. I can't believe they're trying to charge for it though.
Really? Well, I mean, they try to charge you yearly to keep your Pokemon.
Is that what it is as well?
Well, remember they had the I forgot what it's
Oh,
called.
the thing. Yeah.
But that way, if you go to a different Pokemon game, you can always
Uh-huh.
upload it, as long as you're paying $5 a year. You might
Yeah,
see
I
your
mean-
Pokemon again, but if you're not,
I mean, $5 a year, I guess, isn't that bad to access your Pokemon for an entire year. I mean, it's nowhere near like a Sony or Microsoft membership where it's like $60.
yeah.
And I think it's going up again for Sony here in a little bit, maybe even Microsoft. I did see something pretty interesting that Microsoft was trying to do for their like launch, like when the game launches. Supposedly, they're trying to reprogram the Xbox to look for files that actually have to do with the game launch, so it launches like twice as fast. Like day one editions and stuff. So even if you have to patch and all that, you can still pre-play the game.
I swear.
It's very interesting. But yeah. I know today's show wasn't all that interesting. There really wasn't a whole lot of news coming out for the most part. It was a pretty slow week, with it being the 4th of July and whatnot. But that's just how it goes sometimes, Even news takes a break for the holidays.
At least for gaming.
Yeah. It's crazy that there was no, outside of, the Nintendo Switch breaking, there really was no major news this week. No important releases, no, crazy, out-of-this-world stories. And whatnot. Oh, I guess, Soul Calibur 6 has Talum announced. That was pretty interesting. Because a lot of people were speculating that she was going to be the announce for Evo. Evo or, what was it? Not PAX. I'm trying to think of the other thing. Comic-Con maybe is what other people were expecting. I mean, what do you think of Talon being announced for Soul Calibur?
Wait. From League?
Huh. No. Soul Calibur. Talon. The one that has the Tonfas.
Oh.
You don't remember Talon, do you?
Not really. I don't think I played much of
I know you play a lot of Astroth and Maxi.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are speculating that Astroth Cervantes might be announced at EVO this year. Because Talon was kind of a big requested popular character, I guess, on a lot of people's radar. Either that or we're getting another DLC character at EVO, which would be pretty cool to see. I wouldn't mind the rumors from E3 that we didn't get, like the Final Fantasy VII characters. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. But with Cloud showing up in Smash again this year, might not be happening.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I got completely lost in this place.
Yeah, I figured. But yeah, no, I was talking about the rumor leak at E3 or the little thing that was fake or whatever. They were talking about FF7 characters being DLC or whatever, bonus characters for Soul Calibur 6. I think that would have been pretty cool if they announced it at EVO this year. Like, I would be shocked if Namco Bandai didn't have some big reveal for a new character at EVO.
Right.
It would be really, really surprising, because I think last year, at EVO, they announced Noctis was coming out. So I guess it would line up with what happened last year. They announced that Noctis was going to be in Tekken 7, and then he came out like 3 or 4 months after. I want to say it was EVO. So yeah. It'll probably be a big guest character that nobody sees coming, like Pac-Man or something in Soul Calibur 6. You know.
That sounds like it'd be OP. Not as OP as you get to play Star Killer.
Star Killer wasn't that bad. I mean, he was okay. I think Yoda was probably the most broken out of the Star Wars characters that got put in Soul Calibur. But that's more because he was literally the size of a needle.
I don't know, the combo was pretty intense with him.
Yeah, but you couldn't hit Yoda with anything. Like, nobody had anything that could hit Yoda or fight Yoda properly. You just couldn't combo him. He was too small. So yeah. Soul Calibur 6, hopefully we get some decent news at EVO this year. Should be on the horizon. I want to say it's in July. Oh, I thought it was June actually, but I guess not. Must be at the end of July. Anyway, like I said, it was a slow week. We got nothing to really go off of here, but we're gonna go ahead and probably close it on that. I guess if you guys want to participate in chat on the YouTube side of it, put down like what you guys expect the Soul Calibur 6 to announce for a character. It'd be pretty cool to see what everybody wants to see that we haven't already seen. If I had to guess, it'd probably be either Astroth or Cervantes, maybe, like I said, a bonus character of some kind. I mean, they're basically getting the roster filled out. Yoshimitsu's already been announced, Maxi, Talum, like I said earlier, Ivy, Mitsurugi, Nightmare, Siegfried, they're all in. So, Taki, I mean, we're running out of characters to put in, so. The only ones that really haven't been announced, like I said, were Astroth, Cervantes. Valdo hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, I used to play Valdo a lot. That was like my first character.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting he hasn't been announced either. Because he's really unique for that game. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. Be sure, if you're watching on the YouTube side of it, to stick around for the Archon TV What anime recommendation. If you're watching on the Twitch side, we thank you for stopping by. Like I said, sorry it was a slow day. As always, I'm Archon Tsunami. And my co-host is AFK.
Sir Fat Nuts.
And we hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you guys next week. Later.
Later.
Okay, what is up, everybody? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you guys the anime recommendation of the week. This week's episode will be based around FLCL, or Fooly Cooly. And this is because FLCL, after 12 years, just got its sequel series, which is FLCL Progressive, and that just finished airing here in the States on the Toonami block. We'll also be getting another series called FLCL Alternative, which will be airing in September. And the nice thing about this series is that it's only 6 episodes for each series so far, so at most it'll be 18 episodes total when all is said and done. Anyway, FLCL, the original, is about a boy named Naota who lives in a town where nothing interesting ever happens. And he tries to act more mature than he is because adults have kind of let him down in life. He doesn't want to become like a bum adult, that lets people down. And you'll kind of notice the theme throughout the show. It's kind of more, like I said, coming of age and more about like him coming to terms with puberty and stuff like that. Because at the start, he's drinking like black coffee because he says that the lemonade drinks, the sweet drinks, are for little kids. And by the end of the series, he goes back to drinking the sweet drinks because he says that maybe he's a kid and he's just not ready to give that up yet. So he's learning to compromise like his maturity and whatnot, to like accept that he's not quite willing to become a full adult, but at the same time willing to accept that he's ready for more responsibility. That's basically the main theme of the show. But anyway, the show is one big box of crazy outside of that description. It all starts when Haruna here, the girl in the front picture, runs over Naota with the Vespa, which you see in the background as well. And weird things start happening, like giant metal robots are able to be pulled out of Naota's head thanks to an energy called NO. And the reason that Haruna ends up staying around Naota is because she believes that he can help her free somebody she's looking for named Atmosk, which is being held by a company called Mecha Mechanica. I'm not going to say the full name, like that's really hard to say. Anyway, or Medical Mechanica is what it's called. But I just called it the other thing because it's easier to pronounce. And basically, she's looking to free him from Mechanica, and that's what the mechs are for. They're connected to Mechanica. It's just really hard. It's crazy to describe the plot because the anime's all over the place. But just know that it's more about Naota coming to terms with like his brother leaving for the United States to play baseball, and him trying to fill the shoes of his brother and not wanting to become somebody who lets some, or an adult that lets people down, That's what the main theme is in the background if you actually pay attention. But it's all over the place. It's crazy. It's a fun time. This anime here, we'll do our ratings for this anime. I would say this anime is MA. I think it's one of our first anime to be actually MA that I can think of anyway. Yeah, I think this is I think this is the first one that's MA. There is some nudity. It's definitely implied because again, it's coming to terms with puberty and whatnot. It's a lot of craziness. Honestly, I just enjoy the anime. If you're looking for the original series, I don't think it's airing on the Adult Swim block right now because Progressive is airing currently. But you can find it online. You can find it on Funimation as they picked up the rights to the show when the last company who owned them went under. I think it was ADV, went under and went bankrupt. They picked up a lot of old ADV shows like Gundam and Code Geass, and this one included. So, if you're looking for something that's crazy, all over the place, something you can just kind of relax and watch and not really try to understand, then this is definitely the show for you. Like I said, I'll be doing Progressive probably next month, and then we'll do Alternative when that starts airing in September. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the anime review. I don't know if we'll do one next week. Maybe we'll take a break from it because I am getting kind of burnt out on doing these. I shouldn't say I'm getting burnt out as much as I'm kind of like running out of ideas. So yeah. So maybe we'll take a break from it next week and just kind of, relax and chill. And then next week we'll bring it back or we'll switch to a new format or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the anime recommendations. I enjoy doing them, I really do. It's hard to do a recommendation and not spoil anything for you guys. I don't think I spoiled anything with this one. But anyway, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this week, and I will see you guys next week, same time, 6 p.m. Saturday, or 6 p.m. Eastern Saturday. And with that, later.